One of the most heinous techniques a narcissist uses among many other to drive you crazy is triangulation. Triangulation happens when they use a third person to make you think you're crazy, you're too sensitive, you're making up things, or the reality is not the way you think it is. Your perception of it is completely wrong. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we're going to understand a narcissist's love triangle, how they triangulate you in a romantic relationship through a third person they are involved with at the same time they are involved with you. If that sounds interesting and you want to learn more, please make sure to subscribe by pressing the subscribe button, because your subscription helps spread the awareness. Also push the bell icon to stay notified with everything latest that I post over here. Now let's understand how a narcissist creates a love triangle. There are two possibilities, two dynamics, and we'll be discussing both. First dynamic is old and new supply. You are the old supply and they get a new supply. You are their primary supply. They depend on you for all their needs. Physical, emotional, well, they don't have emotional needs except they need you to regulate their emotions, and other stuff they need a servant to do for them. Because after all, what is it to be a victim? What is it to be a supply for a narcissist? It is all about slavery. As harsh as that might sound, it is all about serving the narcissist's false self. That is what it is. So you are their primary supply, but nothing is enough for them, so they get this secondary supply, which is this new person. Now, this new person may be a love interest. You may overtly know about it because they have already told you, I don't want this relationship with you. I just want to leave you. I want separation. So I am completely detached, but have still kept you there for using you. Or it could be done in the disguise of friendship. They're a friend. It's a person they are romantically interested in, but it is all about a friendship, when in reality it is not. The other dynamic is you are the new supply. You are the opposite. You are the new supply. They do not talk about being in touch with their old supply, but they have this old supply in their life, and you are acquired as a new form of fuel. A source that can provide them the narcissistic fuel they require to survive. So this old supply might be an ex-partner who has not been exed yet. What does that mean? That means it could be a wife, a husband that they have not fully divorced yet. They are still in touch with them. They still live with them as if they are together, but they are not together. It's very complicated to understand. And as a new supply, if you would ask them, what is this all about? What are you doing? I mean, why haven't you divorced them yet? They would say, well, I respect them. We still share a deep connection. They are my friend. We are doing it for the sake of children, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they will never run short of reasons. You know that. They always have an excuse, and as a form of trusting this person, you think they are a great person. So probably they are doing it for a good cause. They have positive intentions. You will take it, believe it, and you will go with it. But as time passes, you will eventually find out that their relationship is nauseating. There is something terrible happening there, but you cannot put a finger on it. You can't call them out, because the moment you start doing it, they give you silent treatment. They create comparisons. Well, see, this is why I'm still in touch with them. This is why still I have not divorced them fully, because they're not like you. They're not sensitive like you. They're not needy like you. They're not crazy like you. You are like this, and you are overthinking. You have your own traumas, your own issues that you're projecting on our relationship. This is why I never wanted to get serious with you. And they would scare the shit out of you, because you would feel replaced instantly. They would make you feel as if they're about to abandon you, or you would be abandoned, literally, because they would give you silent treatment. They would cut you off. They would start ignoring you. And to add fuel to the fire, they would start posting pictures of themselves with the old supply all over the internet, having a nice time, including their children. It never seems like The family is broken. It feels like everything is together. And as crazy as this might sound, the old supply would still be enabling their narcissism. It's like they don't care if it is right or wrong, they just stay. Most of the times, money is involved in these cases. The financial benefits that the old supply is getting, they're way bigger than the benefits they could reap out of separation. So they stay. Selfishly, they do, and let the narcissist do whatever they want to on the sidelines. They will triangulate you so much so with this old supply that a time would come you would start feeling jealous. You would want them to give you validation. You would depend on them to see you the same way as they see their old supply. And this is what the narcissist wants to happen. They want this chase. They want to feel important, so they create a sense of competition. It's like a trophy that has to be won. Run after me. Kill each other for me because I am important. I love to see how I am controlling so many people at once. So essentially, it is like a narcissist creating the harem of different sources of supply and creating the chase, creating the hype for what? Nothing. For a moment, let's talk about the old supply, new supply dynamic, where you are the old supply and they get a new supply. Now, this new supply would heavily be used for comparison. See, this is how better she or he is from you. This is what they don't do. These are the mistakes they do not commit. They're not crazy like you. They're not sensitive like you. They're not always questioning me like you do. How would they? Because they have not seen your true side yet. You have only showed them one part, one side of yours. They do not know the real person that this old supply knows. So obviously you are going to drive the old supply crazy. And as their old primary supply, you feel so shattered. You feel so broken. You feel so confused. You feel jealous as well. You start feeling things that you have never felt before because there is always this competition going on. You find yourself doing more things, putting in more efforts to make it up to them, to prove to them that no, you are the person. You are the one they are connected with. They don't need anyone else. But of course, that never happens. No matter how much you do for them, it is never enough, and they keep going back and forth between you and them, and you feel like you have to remove this person from their life. You start developing the feelings of hatred, resentment, and rage towards this person, and you just want to erase them. You want to harm them without knowing that this emotional state was deliberately elicited by the narcissist because they love how people are dying over them, how they are fighting with each other. Eventually, a point comes in such a relationship where you would rather want to be hated and ignored than the narcissist loving the other supply. We want the narcissist somehow to separate themselves from the new supply, even if that comes at the cost of being hated, being heavily targeted by this narcissistic person. So that is how your mental state is destroyed by them. They never let you be at peace. No matter what the dynamic, what the setting is, there is always a chase. There is always a push and pull, hot and cold dynamic, hot and cold behavior. You have to beg for the scrapes, the bare minimum. I would say even the bare minimum is missing. They don't even do the bare minimum. You have to settle for the breadcrumbs. You have to make a whole bread out of a breadcrumb they occasionally throw at your face. That is what happens to your needs through this comparison, through the triangulation they create. In a nutshell, I would say the love triangle in a narcissistic relationship is not just any love triangle. It is, in my opinion, a Bermuda Triangle. Worse than that, everything that passes by sinks, disappears, never comes back. That is what happens to your love. That is what happens to your self-worth, your self-esteem, and confidence because of the constant comparisons and the constant back and forth and this competition. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what other topics would you like me to cover around the subject of narcissistic abuse. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin.